It's time! Are you ready for another Gateway to Geats? For this episode of Kamen Rider Geats, episode 13. I am. You better be, because you're watching the video. Fuck off. So we started off with Samuri still doing the recap. That's neat. It's cute. Maybe this will be a way for us to like easily differentiate and talk about the different arcs of like who might be doing the recap. Because if it's different next one, it could be a thing. This is more just cataloging bullshit idea. But either way, we finally have Ace just wondering why the Game Master's targeting him. And he's talking to Concierge because he doesn't know that they're the same person. And just going like, why? Oh, that's weird. And Samuri's basically just giving the Game Master the death eye as we cut to the lounge. And we find out the reason the Game Master's kind of giving is he's really worried Geats will get too close to the truth, you know? But he'll figure out what the big thing is, you know. So okay, there is a deeper, grander conspiracy that the Game Master is part of, but isn't necessarily the same one that the Gardener is a part of. So like layers and layers and backstabbies and all that kind of jazz. Either way, he doesn't want Ace to know what's going on, and Punk Jack is smug, because Punk Jack's always smug. Why wouldn't he be smug? Look at that sweater. And then we get the OP, and we see the Game Master finally talk to the Gardener, because he's been trying to do it for a couple episodes. And he asks what the fuck is going on with the Yamatos and them picking up the belts. The Gardener basically goes like, hey, I mean, you want them to be strong to fight the Kamen Riders and get good stuff. Okay, so definitely combat and all that stuff is something that they're trying to accomplish. They want to build up, like, if we have to use a description, like King of Fighters fighting energy, you know what I mean? Just the raw combat. Maybe it is the desire. Maybe the Yamatos beating them is ultimately something that needs to happen. Who knows? Maybe the Kamen Riders are sacrificial pawns, something like that. But the Game Master basically says that's not really the point. It's just more of like, this was not a planned thing, and it's something I wasn't expecting. What the fuck, right? And the conversation ends, and the Gardener just basically is salty that he always loses, and that's kind of interesting. Like, they are working together, but they are not under the same organization, maybe, of some kind of like thing like that. Either way, we cut over to Ace, and he's doing a fancy pants famous person photo shoot in a tuxedo, and he gets approached by a woman, and they have like a brief little conversation. Cut to KY, and hey, he finally has at least a part-time job. He's working at the udon shop, and he's like, thank you, let me work here till I get like a more steady job, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, Keiwa sees a little girl walk outside the shop with a big red hat on and drops his core. And that's all we see at that point, because we then cut to Neon asking her father some questions about the GGP, Desire Grand Prix, just like, are you part of it? Do you know what's going on? Why am I part of it again? And he basically like brushes her off and goes like, I don't know if I'm part of it. Isn't that what you wanted to be part of the game? And Neon just like, fuck off, Dad. So she does what she always does. She runs away. And she also runs into the girl with the big red hat, and she also drops her core. Okay? Buffa's running. Red hat drops core. Like, we're seeing a pattern here. We finally get to Ace, and he sees the girl with the red hat, and like a similar thing happens. She walks by, his core drops. By the way, I know it's purely just because of the way that they were filming it, and it's just the easiest way of doing it, but it looks like they pooped it. It looks like the core just comes out their butt. It's just like bleep. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. And Ace's core falls down. The Geats core falls down. And Geats goes like, wait a second. He goes up to the girl and goes like, why did you take my belt? And he grabs his Desire Driver back. And right as he gets his Desire Driver back, Yamato's attack. Whoa. Punk Jack shows up. but he's not here to fight Yamato's. He's here to fight Geats because fuck Geats. They just fight, but eventually they just get overwhelmed and they're like de-transformed. Their belts get taken away, all that kind of stuff. I'm wrong. I remembered it right now. They don't de-transform because they get overwhelmed. The girl with the red hat forces them to de-transform and makes them drop their belts, and like she has them, and some Yamatos take them and transform, and they're just like, oh shit. So they run away back behind a building, and they're just like, what the fuck? And they get the call, and we got a new game that they have to go and play. It's musical chairs. For right now, there is 4 belts and 5 riders active. So whoever has a belt by the end of the game continues. Whoever doesn't gets eliminated from the game, and they got to go find the drivers. And they have very little idea how to do it, so they just have to go into the world and just ask questions. Kayla's just like in front of the restaurant going like, hey, did you see a girl? Did you see a girl? Neon, though, is an influencer. So she uses her, it's not a Twitch stream, her live stream, and basically goes like, hey, give me information. She gets it. But Kaywa's sister is also watching a live stream, so he's like, oh, cool, I can go bother her for information. And Neon's nice. She's not gonna be a dick about it. She's like, oh, sweet, Kaywa, we can go get belts together. Let's go. And they're at a shrine, and they're going like, okay, she should be around here. Where is it? And they see some Yamatos walking back behind the brush, and they go like, I have a feeling we gotta follow them. They go to find the Yamatos. They grab the drivers before the Yamatos can get them, and they're about to fight all the bad guys. And some nice Neon still tries to protect the little girl, even though she's like a weird game piece to this whole thing. She's still like, yo, no, this is little girl. She needs to be safe. All that kind of stuff. They fight a little bit, and with their belts, Kaywa and Neon meet back up with the rest. And now we have a Yamato attack. And Kaywa and Neon are about to like transform and protect the 3 that don't have belts. And Bubba immediately takes charging with this. He's like, what the fuck, dude? No, fuck off. We're competing against each other. And we ultimately have what has been a big secondary theme so far of like, we are trying to accomplish our own goals, but we need to work together, because that's been a thing since Kaywa got the ninja buckle. You know, he's been a driving force of like teamwork and working together and not being assholes to each other, and everyone's slowly been learning that lesson and realizing if we work together, it's easier to beat these challenges, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so basically Kaywa and Neon and Ace just like go like, stop, this is not the time, this is not the place. And Buffa goes like, fine, do it. He's very Vegeta. I like him. Buffa just is a very Vegeta-esque character. It's really good. So they fight. They do all the fighting stuff. It's hard to describe. It's like, yeah, the fight scenes are cool. You know, choreography is really great. I also just really appreciate how much the camera is part of the choreography. Like, you can still see everything. It's not shaky cam, but they are doing a lot more camera movements, which just makes things feel really dynamic, you know? So they're fighting, they're doing all that kind of stuff, and the people who aren't transformed are trying their hardest, you know? But they're not a challenge for it. And eventually we see a dude in like a boardroom with basically tell his assistant, of like, all right, cool, send them the thing. And the assistant taps her iPad and sends a brand new power-up to Geats. And, like, the Game Master is not happy. He's like, what the fuck? No, I have not seen this power-up before. What the fuck? Geats has a new power-up, and he goes like, hey, Kaywa, can I please borrow your driver? I just need to borrow your driver for, like, 5 minutes, because I know this will protect us. And when I'm done, you get all the power-ups and the driver back. And your immediate thought is like, oh no, Ace is gonna do what he did to Tycoon the first time, you know, put him in a dangerous situation and trick him. And you're like, but he's also been growing as a person. And so Keiwa does trust him in the though, and gives Geats the driver, and Geats uses the brand new power up, and it looks really cool. It is badass. Okay, first off, he has to like charge it up. It's like a big old super move. So he plugs it in. He just gets like a little visor and a sword. He uses the sword for a little bit, and once it powers up, he's able to use the other half of the power up, plop it in, and he gets a full set of like robot-y armor. And it's just a badass, fun. It's not a fight. It's a firefight. It's just a dude running at Geats, and Geats just firing fucking lasers at him. It's great. And really, it feels more like a Metal Heroes thing than it does a Kamen Rider thing, but it still looks really cool. But Geats does eventually beat the powered up Yamato, and he's honest with his word. He hands back the driver. He hands the power up back to Keiwa. He's like, nah, Keiwa, I trust you. You're a friend. Like, we're equals. Here you go. All that kind of stuff. And because also there's another driver that Geats can go pick up. Before he can go pick it up, Buffa goes like, finders keepers. And nothing says that they can't do that. There's no rule against that. So yeah, Buffa has the power up now. Not the power up, the driver now. And it's like, oh man. That's kind of shit. Fuck. Right? We also get some more with the GM and the new boss, and the game master's going like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on here? And the boss guy says like, hey, you can't just be shitting on one player like that. It's unfair. And the game master's like, but he is close to figuring out the truth. Doesn't matter. It's unfair for the game. And it's like, okay, so maybe the game's a ritual and it has to be played a certain way. Who knows? We'll figure that out. But either way, the final two drivers that have been in this musical chairs are handed to Yamato's. They transforms. All the belts are currently in play, and they just have to beat the enemy to get them. Oh boy. Damn good episode. Just a really good episode. The fight choreography is continuing to just be top notch. It is great. The camera work is phenomenal. Like, it's only every so often you see the strings, quote unquote, and even then, I am totally invested. It's a good story. We're also seeing a lot of cool character growth of Keiwa, like, coming into his own as, like, a confident person. Neon, like, herself being more confident, being more secure in her ability of fighting. Ace trusting other people and going like, hey, I can trust you. I won't just use you. I will trust you and we will work together kind of stuff. And Buffa slowly eroding and understanding the others, but always being tempted to be a dickhead. It's great. Punk Jack being a smug asshole. More information about the Game Master. More information about the Gardener. It's solid. It's really good. But hey, that was Kamen Rider Geats and Gateway to Geats. And you know what? If you liked this, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel so you can get more Gateway to Geats and other video content that's going to be coming out sooner rather than later. And hey, till next time, stay Geatsin'. That's not a word. I'm sorry.